Welcome to my channel, Faith in Flour. If you're new here, my name is Robin. I do videos on homemaking inspiration and motivation, and I cover a wide variety of topics related to that. I have been a stay-home wife and mom ever since my kids were born, and so I feel that I have a lot of things to share with you, and I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. Today's video is going to be different for a couple of reasons. First of all, I am posting on a Friday instead of my usual Sunday afternoon, but I still will have a Sunday afternoon video, so make sure you come back for that. As a matter of fact, I just recently hit 100,000 subscribers thanks to you all. I really appreciate it, and I thought it would be a fun time to do a Q&A. So if you want to know a little bit more about me, or if you have any homemaking questions at all, make sure you leave those down in the comment section, and I'll also put up a community post on YouTube so that you can post more questions there as well, and also over on Instagram. So be looking for that at my usual time on Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time. But today's video is different. I am going to be showing you our Mexican lasagna recipe and our zucchini bread recipe, which was passed down from my grandmother and is a family favorite. Both of those are gluten-free, so hopefully if that's something that you're looking for, these recipes will really help you out, but they can be adapted either way. So I will talk more about that as we get into the video. Today's video is in collaboration with some other YouTubers that you might not be familiar with here on YouTube. They will be sharing their family favorite recipes as well. And I thought that you might be interested in meeting them because they also are very open about their faith. If you've been with me for any length of time, you know how important my faith is. I have faith in my title, Faith in Flour, and you'll see on my YouTube banner listed Jesus follower, wife, and mom, and that is specifically in that order. So I do share a lot about my faith. I intermingle that into what I do in our home as I serve my family. And also I have been very open about how I do Bible study. So if you're interested in those things, you will find more about it on my channel. And I am really excited to get into this and share today's recipes. So make sure that you check out these women. I will list them all and give you links in the description box so that you can get to know them on their channel, and you can watch the video that they're putting up today as well. As I said, today's video will be a little bit different. Let me know what you think by giving me a thumbs up if you enjoy it. And if you are new here and you like what you see, I want to invite you to subscribe. We would absolutely love to have you join us here at Faith in Flour. We have an amazing community of subscribers, and you can meet them all down in the comment section. Let's get started, and I'm going to show you some of our favorite recipes. First up is Mexican lasagna. It's a huge hit at our house, and it can be a crowd pleaser. You can easily double or triple this recipe. This recipe is also gluten-free, and there are no hard ingredients to find. They are all very simple things that you can find at your local grocery store. I will have both recipes down in the description box to make it easy for you to copy and paste. You will need a pound of chicken breasts, and I like to bake those in the oven, but you could also grill them, whatever works best for you. And when I do it in the oven, I like to brush each side with a little melted butter or ghee. Season each side with taco seasoning. You can use store-bought, or I will have a recipe for my homemade blend down in the description box as well. Bake the chicken at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. While they're in the oven, you can assemble the rest of the ingredients. You will need 2.5 cups of shredded cheese. You can use Colby Jack cheese or a Mexican blend. For convenience, feel free to use pre-shredded. I just prefer to shred my own. I just think it melts better. And I also really like a nice sharp cheddar cheese in this recipe. I also really love using some fresh cilantro in this dish. It makes a huge difference in the flavor, and it gives it a really nice fresh taste. So I add the cilantro to the cream cheese, which has been softened, and the cheddar cheese, and mix these thoroughly. I would suggest softening the cream cheese a little more than I did. It will make this job a lot easier, and it will also spread really nicely when you are ready to layer the lasagna. You will need 16 ounces of enchilada sauce. So if you have your own recipe, absolutely use that. I really like this one. It's gluten-free and so convenient and tasty. So this just is perfect for this dish, and I use 2 8-ounce packets. Once the chicken is done, you will need to shred it. So this little trick is so convenient. If you have a stand mixer, just place all of the chicken breast in there, put on the paddle attachment. I also add the extra juices to keep the chicken nice and moist, and let the mixer do all the shredding for me. I have found that many store-bought enchilada sauces do contain some gluten, so be careful about that. But you don't have to worry if you're using corn tortillas. They are gluten-free and very easy to find at your local grocery store. If you need to take something to a potluck or a friend or family's house and there's someone there that needs to eat gluten-free, you can be sure that this is going to be a safe dish if you just keep an eye on the enchilada sauce. And I know that everyone's going to love it whether they need to eat gluten-free or not. Arrange the tortillas in the bottom of your baking dish. As you can see, I dipped each one in the enchilada sauce as per the original directions, but to save time, you could pour a little of the sauce in the bottom of the pan, layer the tortillas on top of that, and add a little bit more sauce. And then you start layering the other ingredients. Spread half of the cream cheese mixture over the tortillas, and then layer on half of the chicken and 1/3 of the cheese. Top with another layer of tortillas and repeat. So cream cheese, chicken, cheese, and tortillas. Then pour the rest of the enchilada sauce all over the top and sprinkle with the last of your cheese. With your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, bake for 35 to 40 minutes or until golden and bubbly. Let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes before serving with some fresh guacamole and your favorite Mexican sides. I hope that your family loves this as much as mine does. Next up is zucchini bread. This is a great way to use up your zucchini at the end of the summer, and your family's going to love this too. This is a recipe that was passed down from my grandmother, and I've adapted it to be gluten-free, but you can just substitute regular all-purpose flour for the gluten-free flour in this recipe if you don't need to worry about being gluten-free. All of the ingredients are things you probably already have on hand, as long as you have some zucchini. And this recipe is very moist because of the addition of crushed pineapple, and that you used undrained. So it adds so much flavor and moisture to this recipe. It's something that my grandmother always did, and I have never seen another recipe that included pineapple, and it really makes a difference. So I hope you'll give this a try. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and then mix all of the dry ingredients. So that is 1.5 cups of a gluten-free all-purpose flour mix, or you can use a regular all-purpose flour. If your gluten-free mix does not contain xanthan gum, it's good to add about 1/4 teaspoon. I will put the recipe for the homemade blend that I use down in the description box if you would like to make your own. It's a little more economical, but for convenience, you will find many really good cup for cup substitutes for all-purpose flour that are gluten-free on the market. One of my favorites is the one by King Arthur. Add to that 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Whisk together all of the dry ingredients and then set them aside. You will need 1 cup of grated zucchini for this recipe, and I find that a medium-sized zucchini like this one usually yields around 2 cups. Large mixing bowl, combine the coconut oil. I like to make sure mine is completely liquefied, so I microwave mine for a short period of time. It just makes it much easier to blend all of the ingredients together. To that, add 2 eggs, about a teaspoon of vanilla. I'll admit I never measure my vanilla, I just eyeball it. Then whisk these together very thoroughly until you achieve a creamy consistency. Add to that your freshly grated zucchini and crushed pineapple. Once the wet ingredients are thoroughly combined, you can add the dry ingredients. Stir until well combined, and then add in nuts if you choose. I love to add walnuts to this. It gives such a great texture and flavor to this bread, but of course, if you are not into nuts, you can certainly leave those out. Pour all of the batter into a prepared loaf pan. I really like using these silicone pans. They don't require any extra oil or preparation, and the bread comes out perfect every time. If you are in the market for one, you can find one in my Amazon store, and the link for that is down in the description box. This loaf takes about 45 to 50 minutes in a preheated 350 degree Fahrenheit oven. As I mentioned earlier, usually 1 medium zucchini will yield about 2 cups. That works out great because I store the remaining zucchini in a Ziploc bag so that I will have it all ready to go for the next time. Be sure to label the bag, and then I've found that it really helps if you flatten it out as much as possible and lay it flat to freeze. Then once it's frozen, you can actually file it in your freezer. It takes up less space and it makes it much easier to find what you are looking for when everything's filed instead of piled on top of each other. Test the zucchini bread for doneness with a toothpick and then allow it to cool for about 10 minutes before removing from the pan. This makes the most beautiful, moist zucchini loaf that I think I've ever had. And of course, this always brings back great memories of my grandmother because this was something that I look forward to having at her house. It makes a great snack or even dessert along with ice cream, but our favorite way is to serve it for breakfast, topped with a little bit of butter and served alongside of a cup of tea or coffee. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. I hope that these recipes are something that you'll want to give a try, and I hope that you will check out the other recipes. You'll find those links down in the description box so that you can have some new things to add to your repertoire for this fall that your family's going to really enjoy. And all of these recipes are tried and true, which are my absolute favorite. So check out those recipes, check out the other channels, and hopefully you'll discover something new here on YouTube. I really appreciate all of your love and support in the comment section. I can't wait to talk with you there. And I will see you on Sunday, so make sure you submit your questions as well. See you Sunday and have a great week.